Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the world's most fullest coverage foundation, which is the Dermacol Film Studio makeup cover. So the shade that I got was 208. I bought mine just off of eBay and it was, let me just double check, $7.89 with free shipping. So I thought today would be the perfect opportunity to give it a try since I do have quite a few breakouts on my chin. I'm going to start off using a primer on half side of my face. So today the one I'm using is the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer. So I'm just going to apply this on this half of my face. So I've just applied some moisturiser on this side and I've just applied moisturiser and the base on this side. So I'm just going to take a small amount. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to need first. It comes out quite thick. So it kind of comes out as like a thick kind of paste. I'm just going to use Real Techniques buffing brush to apply this. So I'm just going to take a small amount on the brush. So I feel like it's actually a perfect match for my skin. Wow, it's actually really nice. Like it's not as, I guess it's not as thick as I expected it to be. I have just applied a little bit more on my hand. The amount I used was probably the size of my ring finger, like a pea size. I have used the buffing brush to buff it in and it is looking really, really nice. So to touch my skin, it does feel a touch sticky, so it will definitely need to be powdered down. But just the finish of it is really, really beautiful as well. Comparing the two sides, you can just see how red this side is compared to now how perfectly matched it is. I can still see my freckles when I'm actually looking into the mirror, so I probably could use, like, if I wanted them to be covered, I feel like I could. I might just apply a little bit more, just to see what the build up of the coverage is like as well, just around those areas. Okay, so I've just added a little bit more onto those areas where I do have a little bit more freckles, well, darker coloured freckles, and it seems to build up quite beautifully as well. Even looking really close into my little mirror that I've got here, it doesn't seem to be sitting in any pores, any lines. Under my eyes it doesn't seem to be creasing either as well. Surprisingly, even my eyelids, when I'm closing and opening my eyelids, there's not really a predominant line, usually how there is with most other foundations. So the coverage is obviously very full coverage, but even the finish on the face as well is quite beautiful. Like it's got a beautiful glow, it's got quite a like it's definitely not a matte finish, it is more like a, I would say probably like a satin finish. Like it's not completely dewy, like wet looking, but it is quite, has got a quite beautiful sheen to it as well. So I'm just going to apply it onto the other side now. With the same brush, I'm just going to see how it works without the primer and just using the foundation with moisturiser. It will be the real test to try and cover that. It didn't really feel like it was much difference in application wise versus the primer versus just moisturiser, but I can definitely still see it in this blemish right here. So I'm not sure, I might just try adding a little bit more over top of that. Maybe it's just the fact that the buffing brush is just buffing it out just that too much. So you can definitely see that's just done a much better job just for those problematic areas. So I don't think I would need to use concealer anywhere on the face. I would still use concealer under the eyes just because in real life it does come off a little touch of darkness just under the eyes here. So I will just use a bit of concealer just to get rid of those. I'm really loving this foundation. So I'm just going to move on now. I'm going to just start with my concealer. So I'm just going to use Instant Age Rewind. Kind of bring a little bit more lightness under those areas. It'll be interesting to see how the product, the foundation, goes with using other products over top of it as well. So I'm just going to go through with my beauty sponge and just blend that in. So that is blending out effortlessly. That is so easy to blend. So my skin just looks absolutely flawless. I'll see if I can zoom you guys in as well so you can just see the texture of my skin. So you can just see there, it's not sitting in any lines or any pores in those areas, especially under the eyes as well. Even the eyelids, they aren't really creasing. Around the nose, even around the mouth as well. You can just see that beautiful luminosity glow. I'm just going to go through and settle that with some powder. I'm just going to go through with the L'Oreal Infallible Powder Foundation. So next I'm going to apply some bronzer. The one that I'm using today is the Arbonne bronzer. The powder and the bronzer are just sitting over top of the foundation absolutely perfectly. Next I'm going to go ahead and use the Maybelline Master Blush. So I think I might go in with this shade just here and a little bit of the pink as well. I'm just going to use the highlighter in the palette. Wow, it's blinding. I'm truly so impressed with this foundation so far. So I've seen other people's reviews and everything on it, and by the sounds of it I thought it was very, you know, I guess costumey and, sorry, my eyebrow, like costumey and thick. I mean, it's definitely thick once it comes out of the tube, but once it's actually on your skin and you've blended and buffed it out, it is absolutely beautiful. Next I thought I would jump into brows. So I believe this one is a little bit of a wax and then this one is the powder. And then I might go through with the wax. So that's how they're looking so far. So I'm just now going to go in with the powder and I'm just going to define them a little bit more. That's how the brows are looking. I really like this brow artist kit. I think I don't even remember how much it was. I got it from Chemist Warehouse on the weekend. Everything, all cosmetics was 50% off, so I went a little bit crazy. The next one I'm going to go in is the Brow Artist Plumper by L'Oreal. So this one I believe I just got in medium and dark brown. I used to have this in the light one when I had blonde hair, and it was probably my absolute favourite brow gel. I thought I'd pick it up in the medium dark now that I have got dark hair, but oh, I just love it so much. I think it's got little fibres in it as well, so it actually makes it look a little bit thicker and fuller, which I'm not complaining about. So it still hasn't settled into any lines, it hasn't settled into any pores. It is ridiculously hot though in this room, so it doesn't help. It has melted a touch around this nostril, but it doesn't go to help that I'm in a hot room, no fan on, no breeze coming through the window. But you know, I'm gonna let that one slide. Like the bronzer, the blush, the highlighter over top of it looks beautiful still. I think out of a 10, I'd probably give this foundation a good 9 out of 10. I think it is beautiful, first impression wise. I'm not really sure how it would go being like a day-to-day foundation because it is quite a lot heavier than the standard like if you base it against like the L'Oreal True Match, it's going to be a lot thinner in texture rather than this is definitely a thicker cream. But I definitely love this foundation. On a night out, I would definitely wear this foundation again. Day-to-day basis, probably not. But let me know what you guys think down below. I think the match is definitely perfect as well. So like I said, I got this one off eBay. It was $7. So I kind of just went out on a whim and just picked my shade versus what the photos were. So I feel like I did a pretty good job at that, picking the match. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. If you do like these types of videos, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you do like today's video, then please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out a lot. Thanks guys!